Hey y'all, what's going on? Uneducated Yogi here. One family investing where we learn, we invest, and we make profit. So I just want to say, well, one, it's the morning time, and remember from the last video, we went over this, and you know, life be doing stuff, right? Because I said I was gonna come in here on the open and go through this, and I'm so I'm a little, I feel a little bad that I didn't because I would have wanted to know how I honestly would have played this. Me looking at it, I can see how I could play it. But this is why I want to come in live sometimes because, you know, now that I see it, I can say something. But as it's coming up, I'll say something, maybe different. But this is where we opened. Um, where we at? Right here. So this is where we open, right here. And as you can see, so when this is called a wick, all right? Y'all see this string situation here? It's called a wick. So and then this is called the candle, right? So this is called a candlestick and the wick. When the wick is long like that, that means the bulls tried to run, tried to run the price up, tried to, run the price up. I don't know if that's a proper language, that's why I'm hesitating. But anyways, as they are going up, as the bulls are winning, the bulls are winning the fight. The Bears started to push down. They started to push down, push down, push down, push down, push down. And the Bears got all the way down to that little itty bitty, see the little wick underneath? Oh, I thought I saw a wick underneath. Nope, I guess the Bears closed. Yeah. So, 8:30, yeah. So the Bears then, so that means at some point within this 1 minute, so within 1 minute, the Bulls shot it up. They were like, okay, we in here, cut. And then they was like, nope, 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 nope. The Bears was like, nope, 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 nope. And then they kept pushing it down, pushing it down, pushing it down. And then eventually it closed right here. But since it opened down here, as you can see the open, remember the OHLC, look at those numbers. It opened at 2616, okay? Since it opened at 2616 and closed above it, it's a green candle. It's a green candle. Since it opened at 2616 and it closed at 2618, just 2 cents different, it's a green candle. But we can see that we could have closed up here if the bulls held on at 2635. But that's not what happened. That's the high. OHH is 2635. Okay, remember top left. So because it went up to 2635, but the Bears pushed it down to 2618, but it was still above 2616. So it's a green candle. So now if you look at this next one, it opened up at 2620. So the next minute it had opened up at 2620. See the O, 2620. And then it has a little wick, so it's saying that it went up that high. It went up to at least 2631. But during that 1 minute fight, the Bears tried to push it down. They tried to push it down to the 2604. OHLC, the L2604, right? So the Bears, the lowest that they got was 26 right here, 2604. Um, so at one point they probably went down, but then the Bulls pushed it back up, and then they was able to close it at 2629. Okay, so that's why it's a green candle. And let's go over here real quick. So this red candle, same situation. The one before it closed at 2640. 2640. So it closed up here. It closed right here. And then this next one, it opened at 2638. So just a little bit lower than 2640. This at 2640. This one opened at 2638. So it opened a little bit lower. It opened around here. It opened around here. So it opened here, and the Bulls tried to push it up. See that wick? It went back to the 26 41, but then the Bears pushed it down. They pushed it down. They pushed it down, and they got it to close at 26.31. So because it opened at 26.38 and it closed at 26.31, it's a red candle called a bearish candle because it's lower. All right. So that's just a anatomy, I guess, of candlesticks. Didn't know I was going to do that. But let's look at this overall real quick because I didn't get here during the open. But if we're looking at this, remember this, this is what I put yesterday. I said I'm gonna put this because this is where I think there could be a fight at. But we don't want to judge this, what I put here, based off the open, because the open, that's the most volatile. So that I wasn't putting this here for that. I was putting this here for something else. Because the open, you just never know. So it went up. And what's actually funny is y'all see it did do a little fight in that area right here, and that was around 8:35. So 5 minutes later, it did a little fight right there. So that's kind of unique-ish. All right, we'll keep that in our mind. Okay, that's kind of cool. But then it just kept going down. So for me, I'm hoping that if I would have came in or if I opened on this, that once I seen this go up, if I'm watching this and I'm seeing this go down and then this touch like this and then this happened and then this happened, I'm getting in right here possibly because, well, actually, I probably wouldn't because the open of the day is at 26.16. Unless, well, there's one thing we can do to know if I would have done this. I would go to the previous, like the previous day and look at some of the lows. And as you can see, there's a fight here from the previous day. See, yeah, this area right here, we got a lot of fight right here. All right, that's what we call a fight. Fight, fight, fight. Hey, yeah, I wish I had Jedi uh, 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 sounds right now. So, so right here is a good place to understand like it's a previous fight area. So just to keep it in mind, again, you don't do anything with it necessarily, but you keep it in mind as you're trying to do this trading. So, and that's why it's important to know the candlesticks because then you can understand what the fighting means. So it goes up, and then let's say if I'm here and I'm seeing this come back down, once it gets here, I'm like, ooh, okay, it went to that area. But there's nothing significant. Like I wouldn't try to put in a day trade or anything. Now, if it gets here, and then I realize that like from here to here, again, because I'm new at this, I would do this um, just to see, just to see. So because once it gets in here, I'm getting out, and like I said, I probably would have came in on this candle just because yeah. Anyways, I went over it already. So that's 30 cents to the dollar. Um, so for me, I would have done something like that as a practice. Like I would have been like, okay, well, let me get in right here, and then let it go back here, and that's just on some really quick testing and getting me in the game. But obviously, if I've been doing this for years, I'd be more specific. I have my strategies down because I've been experimenting. I've been doing it so long, right? But new, this is how we come in. We go, okay, let me see this. And what's cool is, let's say I did try that. And again, I don't know. I wish I came here live. But let's say I did try that. I try that. It gets down here. Boom. I make a little bit of profit. I take out. And then it goes back up. And now I'm waiting for it to go back up here, but then it doesn't, right? And then it starts to come down. Because in our mind, when we're watching this, we're thinking that it's going to not go too much different than its previous day, but we don't know if it's going to go a little bit up, a little bit down, stay the same. We don't know. So once it does this move, though, and then I see it trying to fight from its previous, one of its previous lows, it battles right there. I want it to go back up here, okay? I want it to go back up here, or at least play in here and come back down here because I can make a little bit more money. But so now they're going and it didn't reach it. It could have, but it didn't. So now it goes down and it breaks the previous one of the previous lows. It broke it. Right here is not called breaking yet, okay? For the zone, I'm looking at the zone. If I just had a line, it would call, well, actually the full candle has to be underneath it. See this candle is still above. That means it didn't break it. The full candle has to be underneath, okay? So on this one, I would call this breaking it because the wick is up here and this candle's underneath. But this definitely, it goes down, but it's a bullish candle, so we don't think it's still going to be going down. We're going to wait until see if it's going to go up or if the next candle is going to be a bearish candle going down. So let's say I get out here. I'm seeing if it's going to go back up to this or if it's going to correct or do a reach like uh, another touch here. So it didn't go up. It comes down. It didn't break yet, so I'm still watching. It didn't break yet. I'm still watching. And then it goes to this next one. It opens. I see the bulls had a little fight. You see the little wick. They had a little fight, but the bears keep pushing it down, and now it's looking good. Okay, okay, cool. Okay. And then the the bulls kick in. They go, nah, bruh. They kick in. And then the bulls bring it up. The bears the fight. Bulls The bulls bring it back up. The bear says nah. And then as you can see, this area is around these right here, which I'm not going to go back right now, but then the bears push it down again. So this is a good example of it breaking because this is a full candle with the wick underneath the zone. And then that's actually a big sign. So that's what I'm saying. Like now look what happened after that, right? When it actually breaks the zone, look what happened. Eventually we go, is that what you want to do? The bulls try, but then eventually, boom, it comes down. It broke all. Now we're under, right? So what's cool is when we see this right here, and then we get an actual break under the zone. So it broke it. What uh what we're looking for next is for it to keep going down or something like this. This is called a doji. So when the candle is really really little, and you have a wick, um, it'll be a wick on both sides. That's what I know a doji would be. I think, this could be called a doji or something else, but I'm not gonna get into that. Okay, so anyway, doji, just remember that. It's the one that's called a pivot, a possible pivot point. All right. So the bears, they get underneath the zone, and then the bulls wanna go because now the last candles we're saying okay, it's bearish. This doji is saying like, man, we really want to. They're so evenly matched. The Bears and the Bulls are so evenly matched. It's almost like just that thin little line right there, that thin little thing. That's because they're evenly matched. So that means wherever it was going, it has a chance to go the opposite way. Okay. So whichever way it was going, it has a chance to go the opposite way. That's what that means. It doesn't mean it will, but it has a chance to go the opposite way. That's called a doji. So now you come in and the bulls, they're trying to push up, but because they didn't break it, we're not thinking that they're actually going to go through on the next one. They didn't break it, but they did get in the zone, but they didn't break it. Okay. Then the bears, they keep it in the zone, and uh but it's closed underneath the zone, and then we keep going down. Okay. So there's a little bit of anatomy of this. And one thing, yeah, I don't know how I would have played it if it was live, uh but yeah, I mean, I think that's a good little sesh right there. So I drew this, I put these in here yesterday. We saw that there was a little fight, kind of interesting. I would have been very curious to see if it would have stayed above this and if this would have been like the play zone right here or right above it. It would have been nice because it definitely would have shown the power of going back in time, drawing these out before you even it was the next day. This is the next day. I did this yesterday. So it's a very powerful skill set to learn how to draw support and resistance lines, but it's not the end all be all. Okay, I just want y'all to know that. But we gotta have different skills to be able to do this. So, and I wanted to just look at these. I didn't look at them this morning yet, so y'all about to check it out with me. But so this is SoFi, and now that it's going down, I want to show y'all something with the options that I got set up. So the swing ones. So the day trading, that would have been a day trade day. I would have. I don't know. Again, I don't know what I would have done, so I can't. I'm not gonna act like I do. But I would have hoped that I would have just got in right here and just played that sucker all the way down here. Ideally, like, yeah, I'm that tight. That's a let's see. You know, I would have been made. I could be like, yeah, I would have made 80 cents on the dollar. But I'm lying to y'all. I don't know. Okay, so I want to show some of these real quick. So like I said, yeah, yesterday, when SoFi is going down, these come up and they look red like this. And I just clicked on one. I was like, even though, like, I'm trying to show y'all the ones that can make y'all profit. So I didn't think to click on the ones that looked red like this. But like this one right here, right? It says SoFi called, just like the last one I had. And that's what made me think about it, because I saw that it was red. I'm like, no, that's a profitable one. And then I clicked on it and I was like, oh, they're just showing us the where it moved, where it moved from, like, yesterday or like during the day, like if it's positive or negative for the day, right? So that's not how I thought about it. So, but still, this one's profitable. So if I took it out today, the profit would have been 149, a 209% gain. So yeah, I want to show you that because, like, because options, yeah, the swing options, man. Again, there's some it's a good way to make some income with a little bit more certainty. Well, the risk to reward ratio is nice. That's what I think I'm trying to say. The risk to reward ratio is nice, and it's all based off of your risk tolerance, anyways. It's not like, like, just because I can feel good about risking it this way, it doesn't mean you will. Um, but as far as the different types of trading, I find that swing trading is a good balance of you get enough return based off the risk, but it's not so safe to where you don't get a nice return. It's not so safe to where you don't get a nice return, but it's not so risky that you're gonna just lose everything. If you, like, just study a little bit and you can make something happen, if that makes sense. All right. I hope it does. So so just so you know, and yeah, these are going to be down because this is for the way future. Remember, way future. Um, 2150. Just so you see another one. So this one, uh, expiration date on the 5th, and even though SoFi is down today, today's returns look, but the overall returns look. Okay, today's return negative 57. Overall return positive 259. Okay. Today's return minus 13%. Overall return 183, 185% minus. Okay. So it's really cool. And we're going to keep learning about this. I just want to jump in real quick. I'm about to post this today. So I'll get 2 videos today. And if y'all like it, please subscribe, y'all. I need 50 subscribers. I need 10 more. No, I'm just saying. I love y'all. Everyone look up y'all in these streets like that. Um, but I'm looking for 50 subscribers so I can go live with y'all on these things. And yeah, sorry about all this moving and stuff. I was supposed to be somewhere else. Stuff's been happening, but we here. So I still got this out. And yeah, 50 subscribers. I can go live. And I appreciate y'all for checking this out, especially you who, if anybody made it to the end here, you're a special person. I freaking love you. Okay. I just want you to know that with all my heart. May God bless you because you motivate me. So, um, with that being said, if y'all have any questions, please put it in the comment. Do some liking, do some subscribing, do some sharing. Share this with people. I hope there's some knowledge in here that you can appreciate. Share this with people, and let's grow our community. Um, when we're sharing it, get involved in the comments. Make me work harder. You know what I'm saying? Make me find out stuff that I think I know, but then when you ask me, I didn't know, and I'm like, dang, I thought I knew. Make me work harder for you. You know, I'm here for us. I'm here for all of us. One family investing is a community. So it's not like a private business like that. It's private, but it's ours. All right. Well, that love. Love y'all. Peace. And I'll push the Lord. Hare Krishna.